So with that in mind, one of the things that people always ask, and it's really a good question, is how do you change out the pages in the binders? And it's relatively simple. It's pretty straightforward, and I want to demo it here so you guys know how to do it. So first and foremost, obviously you need to take your binder, and the specifics of your binder, like regardless of which binder you have, it should be the same. It gets a little trickier depending on obviously the what you have in the binder, so that might matter. But for the most part, the process is the same. First thing you do is you put your forefinger or your thumb, whatever's easier, on the smooth front part of the post itself. You either insert your fingernail if it's not tightly screwed in, or you insert a screwdriver and you begin to unscrew the posts themselves. Now, once you get it started, you should be able to just twist it with your fingers. That shouldn't be very difficult. And then you can remove both the post and the screw together. Now, obviously, you repeat this for all of the various different screws, and what you'll realize is that some of them, the alignment might change a little bit of the pages as you remove posts. Once you start to remove posts, the pages might slip a little. So a good firm, grip with the rest of your hand can really help keep the pages in line and in that specific way that you want them so that they don't shift in the binder. So once you removed all of the posts, you can then open the book up, and obviously you can remove the individual posts themselves. You can take the pages out. Now, for those of you who want to switch thicknesses of pages, I had the script in that particular design, but if you wanted to switch to something like computer graph paper or something along those lines, what you'd need to do is you'd then need to switch the posts you're using to a smaller set, and the new binders will come with multiple sets of posts. I think they're going to plan on coming with 4, so it'll be able to adapt from 0 to 40, 40 to 80, 80 to 120, and 120 to 200 pages. What you'll then do is you'll then take the post section with the binder open, face down. You'll take the posts and you'll put the posts on the front. And obviously this can be adapted depending on, which type of style you prefer. But I just find this particular way easier. Some of our team members find it a little easier to do it a different way. So, if you'd like to do it differently, obviously the posts operate the same way regardless of essentially how you put them together. So you add your paper back in, and as you add the paper back in, if you're able to add all of it in at once, that's obviously easier because then you don't have to line up the pages, but that may not always be possible or practical. So the key is to be able to have the paper and the posts line up so that the posts themselves are as flush as possible with the top of the paper stack once it's all laid down. Alternatively, and this is something that matters a lot, you can actually go quite a bit thicker with your pages. So as you can see here, we've got the post is lined up flush, and I could just flip that over and screw it in. Alternatively, I can add a whole big old stack of additional pages to the stack without problems. And as long as it's lined up so that you can see all the way through to the base of the stack, you can then press down, you fold the top back over, you line up the leather hole with that, and then you can insert the post. And then you can take your screwdriver or your thumb, whichever you prefer, and you just want to make sure that you get it screwed down nice and tight. Now, I will say that if you use a screwdriver rather than your fingernail to screw it down, it will be very difficult at that point to just use your fingernail to get it undone. Just because of the nature of the screwdriver, it's able to essentially, set the screw post a little tighter than your fingernail might be able to. So, that's something to keep in mind. But once you get it put in there, you can obviously have a different thickness of pages, and that can adapt pretty drastically. You can actually adjust it quite significantly without much trouble. That works with both our slim cut and our wide cut. One of the things to remember with the wide cut is if you're using page protectors, they slip. They're very slippery. They slide around a lot, so you don't want them to necessarily slide a little bit. So that can be a tricky challenge. But as long as you grasp them pretty tightly and you've got them, organized, it definitely is a lot easier to just insert them. So now you've got your book put back together with your new posts and your new thickness, and now you've got new pages and everything, and it's as simple as that.